Hello, I'm Jon Mokgrum. It was about this time last year. The Grand Koleos was first released, and through my first test drive at that time, I told you that its driving performance was quite attractive. After that, there was a storm of really negative reactions on the channel. Looking back now, I've been working as an influencer for almost 20 years, and the content that received the most negative reactions was about the Grand Koleos. But now, a year later, the evaluation has completely changed. It achieved the SUV Triple Crown of the year 2025, and sales have already surpassed 50,000 units. In the end, I think consumers really know a good vehicle regardless of the brand. Soon, after the Grand Koleos, the Aurora 2 is getting ready to launch. So, after a year has passed, I prepared another hybrid test drive to see if my first impression still holds true.
For reference, the title is The X5 of Popular Cars.
I named it Grand Koleos. Is it just for attention? Not at all, I don't think it's that much. For your information, the car I'm driving is a BMW X5. I bought it in 2022 and I've driven about 50,000 kilometers over 3 years. Every time I drive it, the basic driving performance really stands out. The X5 is truly a textbook example of what an SUV should be. I want to try a different brand for my next car, but sometimes I worry that I might end up buying another X5 because it's just that good. So why did I call the X5 of mainstream cars the Grand Koleos? Let me focus on 3 main reasons and explain them to you. Above all, the first reason is this: the handling. Whenever you get in the car, the part that makes you feel, oh, this is a luxury car, is the handling. You might think, this is a mainstream car, so why does it feel so luxurious? The handling is a really important part that gives you that feeling. The Grand Koleos' handling is at a level that can be compared to the German Big Three. Even when I compare it to the X5 that I'm driving, honestly, I don't feel like it's noticeably inferior.
So I end up deliberately looking for flaws.
There are some drawbacks, and I'll tell you about them again during the drawbacks section in a bit.
Why is handling so important when we're driving a vehicle? The basic performance of going straight, that's handling. And when it comes to cornering, like turning, the vehicle turns according to the driver's intention.
It should turn smoothly without feeling unstable. I'm just discussing basic characteristics. No special skills are needed. When I first test drove the Grand Koleos,
because of the handling you don't get in domestic popular cars. Chief Gominsu, the undercarriage expert, and I were both really surprised. And it wasn't something we felt after driving for an hour or two, but rather, as soon as we started the engine and drove about 100 meters, we thought, this feels different. So later, we were surprised once again through the undercarriage analysis video.
The Zahnrad fabric steering wheel system, which is used by the 3 major German manufacturers, was installed in the Grand Koleos in the same way.
On top of that, with Renault's tuning skills added, I would say that Grand Koleos has the best handling among mainstream cars. To experience this level of handling, you would need at least a premium domestic brand like a Genesis vehicle. There are probably many people who say, my car is fine though. That's not wrong, but as you deal with situations like this, you unconsciously keep the steering wheel steady by making small adjustments, especially when driving in the city. Since you're driving slowly and not far, it's not uncomfortable. But when you go on a long trip or drive at high speeds, this handling is directly related to your safety.
This is a very important aspect. It's been well over 100 years since the automobile was invented.
But I think consumers still need to demand more when it comes to this basic handling. That way, manufacturers will improve. It's not that domestic manufacturers lack the technology. You need to keep voicing your opinions. From that perspective, Grand Koleos handling really boasts the best handling among mass market cars. But do all premium vehicles offer good handling? That's something we need to look into as well. For example, when comparing the X5, you have the Mercedes-Benz GLE, Audi Q7, Q8, and from domestic brands, there's the GV80.
If you compare these vehicles with the X5,
whether it's from different platforms or front-wheel steering systems, I can't say for sure. When we steer, it's almost like when I think in my head, when my brain thinks and I change lanes or something. If you've tried the X5U, you'll see it goes in faster in these situations. It's a very subtle difference, but there were many times when I wondered, did it just pick up on what I was thinking? However, these aspects do differ from the Benz GLE and Genesis GV Pulgong. But that's how the Grand Koleos is. Through our undercarriage analysis, we told you that the front suspension structure of the Grand Koleos is a bit different from domestic vehicles. In Korea, they make a bracket and attach the steering components to the side. The Grand Koleos uses a through-type structure preferred by German luxury brands, which allows for a more stable fastening feel. It has that type of suspension structure. Maybe it's because of these structural differences and the precise tuning by Renault engineers, but the biggest advantage of the Grand Koleos is, even a year ago or now, after a year, it still has excellent handling and a stable handling feel. There's a reason I called it the X5 of mainstream cars for the second time. It's because of its driving performance. When the vehicle is driving, it just keeps going. When driving, the vehicle rolls side to side depending on road conditions, and its center of gravity shifts forward during stops and starts due to its weight. You also experience pitching like this, and there's constant bouncing as the vehicle moves up and down. In the end, a good ride quality means a vehicle that effectively controls these unstable sensations people feel. That's what we can call good ride quality. That's why in luxury cars, through electronically controlled suspension, in other words, technology that maintains balance on all four wheels is used. And in even higher-end luxury cars, there are stabilizers that use motors to keep the car level. But the car we're riding in right now? It's the Grand Koleos, right? That's a popular car. The Grand Koleos uses the compact modular architecture platform developed by Volvo, which is now owned by Geely. In fact, it's almost the same structure as the Volvo XC60. The compact modular architecture platform has been applied, so the basic driving stability is already secured. To put it a bit bluntly, Volvo vehicles don't have a full hybrid system. They use a mild hybrid system, which isn't a full hybrid system assisted by an electric motor. On the other hand, the Grand Koleos has a full hybrid system. Because of this difference, the Grand Koleos is actually quieter than the XC60 in terms of noise, and the Grand Koleos has been finely tuned by Renault engineers. Anyone who has taken a test drive can easily notice that its driving performance is very different from what we knew about regular cars.
Usually, the Grand Koleos targets a niche market right between the Tucson, Sportage, Sorento, and Santa Fe.
Compared to those vehicles, when we pick up the speed, you get the feeling that the car is kind of floating a bit. But the Grand Koleos provides a more stable driving performance, making the car feel more firmly attached to the road as you pick up speed. When comparing the BMW X5 to the Mercedes-Benz GLE, many say the X5 feels more firmly planted on the road. The feeling is similar. At this level, it's serious. And the third point that can be compared with the X5 is the size of the seat cushion. Usually, in mid-size SUVs, the first row seats show the biggest difference compared to compact or subcompact models. Especially, while the feeling of the backrest wrapping around you is important, the real difference comes from the seat cushion. Often, the seat cushion is short. The main difference between mid-size and full-size SUVs is that the first row is actually quite similar this time. The size of the second row seat cushion still differs between mid-size and full-size SUVs. Grand Koleos offers a more spacious seat cushion size compared to Sorento and Santa Fe. So I compared the generations of vehicles and shared that with you. Let's take a quick look at this. Here's the Koleos' second row space. Thoughts?
Second row space. When we divide cars into segments, the Koleos is in a smaller segment than the Santa Fe or Sorento.
It's a bit smaller, right?
Because it's a European segment. I've sat in the second row before, and today I measured it myself, and the Koleos has the largest second row seat size.
The Koleos has the largest second row seat size.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Try measuring that once.
For this seat surface size, it's 53 centimeters.
Seat plate.
Yes.
What we usually talk about.
Is it real?
Yes, if it's 53 centimeters, that's the size based on a single row seat.
That's crazy.
So, when I sat down, I'm actually a bit big, but even so, the seat was really comfortable. So you know how some domestic cars have seats that recline a lot? Even when they do, my legs end up like this. But with this one, not only was the cushion the best, but the seat itself is wide. It's not that the legroom isn't important, the legroom is actually quite spacious, but because the seat is big and firm, it just looks narrower in comparison.
You're right. I know, right? No, actually, we need to clear up a common misunderstanding. When people talk about this, they usually start with fists, right? Like 2 fists, 3 fists, 3.5 fists, things like that.
It doesn't mean anything.
When traveling long distances, is seat size or legroom more important?
It's the seat. Some cars support all the way under your knees. Coming all the way here greatly improves posture compared to only having more legroom.
That's amazing. I'm curious. Please show me quickly. This time it's the Sorento.
Let's take a look at the Sorento.
I think it's a bit small.
It looks small even just by looking at it. But since this is a 5-seater vehicle, the seat is still relatively spacious. This one measures about 49.5 centimeters.
Unbelievable. It's not even 50.
The seat base is 3.5 centimeters smaller than that car's.
Everyone's been saying this. The Sorrento's second row is much larger, but that's just about its size.
And it's the same with the backrest. Sitting like this also lifts your knees off the seat.
You're right. There's still some empty space.
The legroom is actually about the same.
Legroom?
If the car's seats are wider and legroom similar, the Koleos' second row design might actually be better.
You're right. The Koleos' larger seat cushion honestly makes it look more comfortable. I really thought the Santa Fe or Sorento would go over 50. So I thought this seat and the one in front would be the same size.
No, for them to be the same, you have to go with the Palisade.
Ah, so among these generations, the only vehicle that might have seats the same size as the first row.
That's right, Koleos.
Ah, okay. Let's check the Santa Fe vehicle. For reference, these seats are independent.
This is the Santa Fe. The seat cushion size is...
Many people pick independent seats for comfort.
It's 49 centimeters, but much is tucked inside. Measuring to the contact area, it's about 48.95 centimeters.
Then about the seat, Mr. Banjang.
This one is the smallest, right?
People claim the independent seat is most comfortable, but honestly, it doesn't feel that way.
That's not true.
Wow, that's amazing. So that's the reason. Grand Koleos not only offers the most spacious size for the first row, but also provides generous seat cushion size for the second row as well.
After a test drive, I found that for our family, this is one of the mid-size SUVs that offers the most spacious second row space among family vehicles.
However, although the second row seat cushion is long, the width is a bit narrow, so it might actually feel cramped for 3 people to sit together.
If you need to seat 3 in the second row, the Santa Fe or Sorento may be a better choice. If you often travel with 2 people, the Grand Koleos with its roomy seat cushion is a good choice. And another advantage is the quietness unique to hybrid vehicles. The Grand Koleos comes with a Bose sound system and also features noise cancellation. For these reasons, the Grand Koleos offers relatively higher quietness. In conclusion, with excellent handling, driving performance based on the compact modular architecture platform, and the quietness unique to the full hybrid system, every time I start the engine and drive, I find myself thinking, am I driving a luxury car? Compared to my current X5, there's a clear luxury gap between the X5, which costs over 100 million won, and the mainstream Grand Koleos. However, if you focus on the basics, it's hard to find a mainstream car with fundamentals like this. Now, was everything good about it? Of course not. From now on, for the sake of consumers and hoping that Renault officials will make improvements, I'll talk about some of the disappointing points I felt. The first point was something that really took away from the excellent handling. When you buy a new car these days, one of the driver assistance systems is called LFA, which helps keep the car in its lane. I'm not sure if it's just not well matched in the Grand Koleos or if this part hasn't been fully optimized yet. For example, when this sensor is activated, it doesn't notify you in a gentle way, but rather responds quite sharply. So it startles you, and I wonder if they could have made it a bit gentler. But then again, since it's related to safety, maybe it's designed to respond sharply to increase your alertness. That's what I think. But when this is combined with the excellent handling, the disappointment gets even bigger, especially when you want to enjoy the outstanding handling. On a highway section like this, I switch the lane keeping assist to manual because it's just that good. So in the model year change or facelift version, I hope they make the lane keeping assist a bit smoother. In other words, less sharp. This is really an area that needs optimization. And the second part is the ambient lighting on the door. This ambient light appears too bright at night. Of course, you can adjust this part by color. In luxury cars, it appears subtly, only standing out when necessary.
Sometimes it even reflects off the high-gloss surface in the front.
Especially this lighting that completes the interior ambience.
It's not in the second row, so the second row door trim didn't have this ambient feature. Grand Koleos has sold over 50,000 units. At this pace, I think hitting 100,000 isn't far off. I hope these aspects can be improved a bit more to better satisfy the consumer's sensibilities. Well, I got to drive the Grand Koleos again after a year. When I first drove the Grand Koleos a year ago,
I thought, this is really a great car.
that's why I told you all about it and got a lot of criticism. And then a year has passed.
First impressions are important for both people and cars. The Grand Koleos I met a year ago was really attractive, and I think that's still the same now.
In the meantime, a lot of different opinions have come out from domestic consumers. Among them, many issues have been resolved quickly, which is building a different kind of trust compared to before. Please further improve these aspects of interior quality, including the handling I mentioned today. Today we reviewed the Grand Koleos. Soon the Aurora 2 will be unveiled. What's clear is that it's based on the Grand Koleos. A year of expertise will likely go into that vehicle. The Aurora 2 surpasses the Grand Koleos. It's a mid to large sized vehicle, right? Remember the fresh shock of the Grand Koleos.
I'll look forward to the Aurora 2.
Well, that's all for the video I prepared. I'll greet you again with an even better video next time. Thank you. If this was even a little helpful, please give it a like.
Subscribe and turn on notifications to get accurate new car information quickly. Thank you.